Look, we have spoken about the Supreme Court's perhaps, and I don't know if these words will get me in trouble, but its reaction, it's, some people say, over the top reaction, at least that's what a large number of people said, in the Nupur Sharma matter, almost prejudging her case. Here the High Court comes out and takes a line which is equally scathing of Mr. Stalin. But we don't see the India bloc in all its so-called secular liberal card-carrying members barely utter a word. I mean, in fact, there's been no reaction.
Good evening, Rahul. I hope it doesn't get you in trouble. You're in trouble already. A couple of points.
Well, you know the way out. So you won a case. So you probably will give me some tips on how to fight for myself in court. So I'm counting on you. And it must be pro bono, huh?
There are no tips. I'll just pass on Jay Sai's telephone number to you. That should do it.
He's wonderful.
No, but Rahul, couple of points here. Number one, I think you're right. We have exposed the hypocrisy of the honorable courts enough times. There is no doubt about it. The Supreme Court has a standard. The Supreme Court has a standard. Sorry, did I say that twice? Double standard? Okay, right. No, look, it's been 6 months. 6 months since Mr. Udayanidhi Stalin made those egregious remarks. And the fact that the Tamil Nadu government did not file a case was in direct contempt of the Supreme Court ruling of last April, when it said that in all matters of hate speech, the state government must file a case suo motu. So either the state government does not believe what Udayanidhi Stalin said was hate speech, in which case both the Supreme Court and the High Court are contradicting it, or the fact of the matter is, why would the state government try and arrest or file a case on one of its own? So there is a hypocrisy that needs to be addressed ASAP. But barring that, the question of your debate is the one which is moot. And here you are absolutely right. The whole Indie alliance, I'm afraid, is not just being hypocritical because that is what politicians do. This goes a bit deeper than that, Rahul. It's beyond hypocrisy. The Indie alliance has a history of hinduphobia. There I said it. And it's a fact. Many of its leaders deliberately call Yogi Adityanath as Ajay Bish, don't they? The name that he renounced after he became a yogi in accordance with his Mutt and Nath sect. But they never call the evangelist Mother Teresa by her real name of Anjes Gonjes Bojau. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. Remember the statement by Jarkhiloli that Hindu has a dirty meaning and Indians should be ashamed of it? And by the way, who did Rahul Gandhi meet on his Bharat Joro Yatra? Yes, the virulently anti-Hindu pastor George Punaiya, who told him Jesus is the real God, not Shakti. Then there is Shivraj Patil, who claimed Lord Krishna taught jihad to Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita. Recall how the Mahila Congress leader Lavanya Balal made a Gaumutra jibe, same as the Pulwama bomber, and an alleged post by Congress youth wing leader Shaukat Ali called Hinduism a terrorist religion. A Goa Congress leader named Jalmi termed Hindu god Parashuram a terrorist and a rapist. Congress mouthpiece National Herald routinely publishes Hindu-phobic articles, including the one where it said Hindu epics were replete with misogyny and Me Too instances. National Herald, remember, is owned by the Congress. Congress celebrate Tipu Jayanti despite knowing he demolished hundreds of temples and converted and butchered lakhs of Hindus. And who can forget the phrase saffron terror was coined by the Congress and that it wanted to pass the communal violence bill, where only the majority, i.e. Hindus, would be held guilty in communal riot. Remember how the Congress blamed the Hindu RSS for the 26/11 terror attack? Had Kasab not been caught alive, Rahul, it is beyond doubt that the Congress would have fortified this theory. Then there was the Congress dispensation in 2004 that asked the Hindu Doordarshan anchor to not display his Hindu sacred symbol Kalava. Remember how Congress leaders publicly butchered a calf just to mock Hindu sensibilities in Kerala? On the other hand, I want to ask you, how many instances are there where the Congress has abused Islam or Islamic organizations? In fact, it demanded hanging of Kamlesh Tiwari for making a comment it considered Islamophobic, and its prominent leader fought against the banning of Simi. And remember how PM Manmohan Singh on the floor of our parliament demanded an apology from Denmark for profit cartoons. So the fact of the matter is, Rahul, this is nothing new. Every party of the Indie alliance is Hindu-phobic, and the most amongst them is Congress.
Well, I mean, You're certainly not pulling your punches, Dr. Ranganathan, and you've substantiated your arguments with certain facts, certain happenstances. And I want to bring in Tehseen Poonawalla. You don't have to raise your finger, Tehseen Poonawalla. I'm obviously going to come out to you. You represent the Congress point of view. And I'm going to give you an opportunity to respond in toto to Dr. Ranganathan. But I have to ask you, preface this opportunity with a question. Now, the court has spoken. So this is not about, Dr. Ranganathan or our other dear friend here, Abhijit Iyer Mitra. This is now the court. And for full disclosure, I must put out that Suman C. Raman, Dr. Raman's wife, is the judge in this matter. So I'm not going to ask him anything about that particular case, because I understand that that would be conflict of interest. So we'll talk around that issue on larger point of why the DMK lurches towards this anti-sort of Sanatana instinct. But that I'll come to in just a few moments. I want to come back to you, Tehseen. The court has spoken. So why isn't the India bloc standing with the Hindus to denounce the DMK in the same words it denounced the BJP and Nupur Sharma? It's a very simple question tonight.
Thank you, Rahul, for having me on the show. I am starting with the expectation that I also won't be interrupted, just like Dr. Ranganathan, my older brother, isn't, and I would like to rebut him while answering your question. Yes, you're right on one part, and I concede to Dr. Ranganathan on one part, that all political parties, not the Congress, all political parties play to the galleries. The BJP, he spoke about 2611, with the book released that Pakistan attacked, it wasn't Pakistan but RSS attacked India, was Kripa Shankar Singh ji, a proud member of the Bharatiya Janata Party today, then in the Congress, now a candidate from Uttar Pradesh. The man who coined the term RSS Sung Terror, Saffron Terror, is today a union minister in the BJP government for the last 5 years. The BJP took him in, welcomed him and forgot it. Naresh Agarwal should have been prosecuted, said the late Arun Jaitley ji. Samajwadi Party kicked him out of the party. BJP took him in. His son is today a minister. Yesterday, your wonderful channel CNN News 18 was covering the swearing-in ceremonies of ministers in Uttar Pradesh. O.P. Rajbar, the statements he's made against Hinduism, is now a proud minister sitting in the Yogi Adityanath ji cabinet. This is the BJP for you. ऐसा कोई सगा नहीं जिसको भाजपा ने ठगा नहीं, ठगने वाली पार्टी है. But there is no speech for no room for hate speech. And where I disagree with Dr. Ranganathan is, I don't think Dr. Ranganathan is an absolute free speech absolutist. I think when it comes to matters of religion, you must be very, very restrained. And I think that what Udayanidhi Stalin said was wrong. It amounted to hate speech. It definitely must be prosecuted. I don't know why he wasn't prosecuted by the Tamil Nadu government. However, he is facing several FIRs all across the country, and that's the matter why he went to court. But here's one quick fact before I end. You know what Udayanidhi Stalin said is not very different from what his father, the late Karunanidhi ji, said. Grandfather, I'm sorry. In fact, his grandfather said quite more dangerous issues about the great Hindu religion and made cartoons about Lord Ram, Lord Lakshman, Lord Sita. You know who went to meet Karunanidhi and invite him to join the NDA alliance? Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Please note my words. Karunanidhi ji did not go to Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji. Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji went to Karunanidhi ji after these statements and said, please join our alliance. And they continued to make those statements. The BJP is seeped in hypocrisy. And right now they've broken an alliance with the AIDMK. Tomorrow, if the Prime Minister does not get a majority, they'll be in an alliance with any of these two parties. Okay. The BJP is not a true representative of anybody. Should these statements be condemned? Yes. Should Stalin be prosecuted? Yes. But is the BJP the moral force? No. The BJP is worse off than the Congress. I say this with absolute authority. I don't need no lawyer to defend me. I stand by what I say.
So, you know, viewers, what I did today, just 30 seconds, I'm coming to you, Dr. Ranganathan, just 30 seconds. What I've done today is allowed Tehseen to speak. I allowed him to waste your time, viewers, completely. What was his defense? What was my question?
Why
and
waste?
What was
that's
I'll explain
that's unfair.
it. I promise you.
No, that's very unfair.
I promise I'll explain myself.
No, that's very unfair.
Arey bhai, let me explain myself, then you judge me.
It's unfair.
Okay.
Arey bhai, I'm your guest. I will answer the way I want. Why would you decide
to inform our guests, our viewers tonight,